And I was thinking about muscle memory and how we do that in our brains. And this is the example I always give to you, right? It's like when you're starting something new in your brains, it's kind of exactly like when you're learning how to drive. You sit down, you're like, all right, which one is the brake and which one is the gas and how do I move the rear view mirrors and how do I shift gears and which ones are, and you accidentally turn on the windshield wipers. Everything when you are learning it new in your brain cognitively, when you're trying to rewire all these neural pathways and learn how to rewire things so you're responding differently, acting differently, thinking differently, your brain is going on muscle memory up until this point. And so it takes a lot of intentional cognitive effort to shift those. Now, the beautiful thing that you guys have learned on this podcast is that it absolutely is possible to do so. Your brain is plastic. You have neuroplasticity. You can change the neural pathways in your brain. They're not concrete. It's not set in stone. Even if you've been doing something for decades and thinking of yourself in a certain way, it's absolutely possible to change that. You can believe something for decades and still change that when you learn how to do it correctly, when you learn how to break up those neural pathways in your brain and to start replacing them intentionally by processing your emotions, retraining your brain, all of these tools that you learn on the podcast that I teach with my clients in my program. This is what you learn how to do. And yes, at first it feels painful. At first it feels like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get this? I feel like I'm concentrating so hard and I'm not making any progress. But what happens is what you're actually doing is rewiring your brain. So of course, this is going to be a process that takes longer than a day and a half. Okay, you are rewiring the most complicated center and system of your body, your brain. Like this is not even something that scientists fully understand is your brain and how it functions. Okay, and you are actively changing it. It's a beautiful, powerful skill that you can develop. And when you're doing that, what I want to offer is that even though at first it might feel like it's taking all of your attention, all of your effort, all of your energy, eventually, the more you do it, the more consistently you do it, the more you get coached on it, the more you fine tune it so that you're doing it correctly. Eventually, what happens is you're actually building up these muscles, shall we say, in your brain so that eventually you just build up muscle memory. So that this isn't something you have to think about. Just like when you get into a car right now, you go out in your car and you just go ahead and you drive. You turn on the key, you go. Okay. It's not until you get into a different car that all of a sudden your brain's like, okay, let's just take a moment here in this rental car and figure out where I am, right? When you're in your own car, you know that car, you don't even have to think about it. You'll get halfway to wherever you're going before your brain actually starts to kick in and you're like, I need to pay attention, right? That is muscle memory. Your brain knows exactly what to do. Which one is the gas? Which one is the brake? Your brain knows what to do. And that's exactly going to happen here. This is how you get to the point. This is where I get asked all the time. How do you get to the point where you go to the beach, where I go to the beach with my husband and I don't even think about what he's thinking? It's because I have retrained my brain. And now my cognitive muscle memory is completely different. Now my cognitive muscle memory is wired to think positively, is wired to not feel anxious.